Good afternoon or morning, my friends. This virtual meeting is quite interesting, and I'm very happy to be with you. But when I say that, I'm almost tempted to say, are we really meeting? I am here, not where you are. I'm talking, and you are not yet listening. When you will be listening, I will not be talking, and wherever you will be, I will not be. But still we meet. So it's magic. And it's also a very good illustration of what our reality is. It's a construction. It's little things coming together in our shared experience, giving the impression of a reality that has some sort of existence when actually it is more like a dream. So once we know that, we are free. We are free from the attachment to how things are, how things should be, which is a source of a lot of tension and suffering eventually. So let's open up this discovery of two of my teachers' poetry, songs of realization, that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to recite the poem first of Gendun Rinpoche, entitled Happiness. And then I'll let you think about it, let it sink in, and I'll come back to you to go into the text a little bit more in detail to give you a sort of a deeper view maybe of what this poem means. Okay, just picture yourself in a very clear and open space, maybe an open sky, and in this open sky there is, if you have the picture of Gendun Rinpoche in mind, and this little video will show some of his portraits, think that he's here and he's actually talking to you through my voice. And let your mind open up. Let's receive the blessing. Let us receive the inspiration from these words and from this great teacher, Gendun Rinpoche. See you in a minute. Enjoy this moment.
Happiness. Happiness cannot be found through great effort and will, but is already there, perfect and complete, in relaxation and letting go. Do not worry, there's nothing to do. Whatever appears in mind has no importance, since it has no reality. Do not hold on to it and do not judge. Let the play happen by itself, arising and passing, without changing anything. Everything vanishes and reappears without end. Only your searching for happiness prevents you from seeing it. Just like a rainbow that you chase without ever reaching it. Although happiness does not exist, it has always been there and accompanies you in every moment. Do not believe that good or bad experiences are real. They are like rainbows. Wanting to grasp the ungraspable, you exhaust yourself in vain. As soon as you relax this grasping, space is there, open, inviting, and joyful. Make use of it. All is yours already. Do not search any further. Do not enter the impenetrable jungle to search for the elephant that is already quietly at home. Nothing to do, nothing to force, nothing to wish for, and everything happens by itself.
Welcome back. Happiness. Everybody is looking for happiness. Maybe another word for it would be ease. A feeling of freedom, a feeling of independence, a feeling of absence of disease. The problem is that we objectify this as almost if it was an object, something that we need to possess, sort of a wish-fulfilling gem that would be out or outside of our mind. As soon as we objectify anything, even happiness or even enlightenment, it becomes an object. That means that we are back into our usual dual perception of the subject, looking for an object, and we are bound to suffer. So here again, Rinpoche invites us to not look for happiness. Happiness cannot be found, and it cannot be found through great effort and will. It cannot be found through great effort and will. It's not an outer object that we have to chase, that we have to hunt down, that we have to gain, that we have to hold and seize. If we think it is that, we're mistaken. But it's already here, perfect and complete. Where? In relaxation and letting go. Why? When we relax, we let go of the quest, the hunt, and all the ensuing situations of tension and fight and conflict. Letting go of this object that we construct artificially in our mind. So we relax and we let go. And what we may become to discover, literally remove the cover from, discover, is that this peace, this ease, this well-being is the very nature of our mind when it is not agitated by concerns that have to do with the outer object that needs to be either pushed away if it's unpleasant or attracted if it is pleasant or satisfactory. So this peace, this ease is perfect and complete in our mind. So that's the beginning. Just know that. Do not worry. Don't be uncertain. Yeah, there must be an object somewhere. Don't worry. Just relax. Just let go. Let your mind be, and you'll find the ease and the peace and the happiness, not as an external object, but as the very nature of your own mind. There's nothing to do. Do not worry. You don't have to make it. And Gendun Rinpoche in his teachings was always telling us that there's not a place where you can buy happiness or enlightenment. There's not a place where you can find it as an external object. There's not a place where it is manufactured. It is not an outer object. It is the very nature of your mind when it is in relaxation and letting go. Now, whatever appears in your mind, says Rinpoche, has no importance, since it has no reality. So you see, we're not sort of careless in the sense of, I don't care, nothing matters, because this is falling in an extreme of nihilism. But we're not also asserting that this outer object that I call happiness has a substantial autonomous existence and I need to possess it. We move beyond this extreme of discredit and embellishment, if we use the terms of Madhyamaka. We move beyond in a state of relaxation and letting go. So do not hold on to it. Do not hold on whatever your mind produces. It is neither good nor bad. These are like clouds passing through the sky of your mind. They have no essential value. They're triggering a reaction. That will have consequences, for sure. But in and of themselves, they have no substantial reality. So let them come and let them go. Don't hold on to it, either by rejecting or grasping, if they are pleasant, according to your own definition, or unpleasant. All of these thoughts, all of these mental events, are merely the natural play of mind, which is the result of causes and conditions that appears in our mind as an outer experience, or at least it seems to be like this, but it truly doesn't have any substantial reality. It is not easy to see that to begin with. But when you abide in relaxation and letting go, then the busyness settles down. The dust of agitation and mental conceptions settle down. And then you begin to see through that. And then you begin to see that, yes, it appears, but it's empty of any substantial existence. It comes through causes and conditions. But because it comes through causes and conditions, this is the very reason why it doesn't have any substantial reality. Let the play happen by itself, arising and passing, without changing anything. Everything vanishes and reappears without end. This is truly the attitude of mind we should have when we practice calm abiding or shamatha. We simply sit. We notice the movement of thoughts. We're not afraid of the movement. We notice the absence of thoughts and the peace. We are not attached to this movement. Whatever comes is welcome. You notice it. And it disappears, for it is impermanent. Only your searching for happiness prevents you from seeing it. Only your searching for happiness prevents you from seeing it. As long as we keep thinking of happiness as an external object, we can't see, we can't experience the true happy state of mind that abides in relaxation and letting go. Let go of that external quest. Come back home. Sit and observe. Do not hold. Do not judge. It's a good experience, it's a bad experience, and so on and so forth. Only your searching for happiness prevents you from seeing it, just like a rainbow that you chase without ever reaching it. Endlessly looking for this object that cannot be found. Back to the beginning of the poem, happiness cannot be found. It cannot be found because it doesn't exist as an external object. Although happiness does not exist in that sense, it has always been there and accompanies you in every moment. It has always been there because this is the true nature of our mind when it is in relaxation and letting go. So This silence, this peace, this ease, happiness has always been there. Only covered by very heavy noise, the loud noise of our searching for happiness. So it doesn't exist as an outer object, but it's always present in the very heart of our mind. And we only experience it when we abide in relaxation and letting go. And this happiness has been with you in every moment. That's a very interesting observation, to see that below the stress, below the layer of agitation, trying to avoid suffering, trying to find ease and comfort, below the noise, there is silence. Below agitation, or you could almost say amidst agitation, there is peace. It has always been there, even though it doesn't exist as an external object. Do not believe that good or bad experiences are real. This is one thing in meditation, we're aiming at something like a good meditation. We're afraid of bad meditation. So many questions around this, like, am I doing good? Am I doing bad? All of these are judgment. They're just mental construction. They actually do not reflect reality. The underlying mind is neither good nor bad. The judgment are mental construction that are superimposed to the natural state. And we're so busy dealing with this layer, superficial layer of agitation, that we cannot experience peace and happiness. They're like rainbows. They appear, they have a shape, they have a color, but when you try to grasp them, you see they're very elusive. There's nothing that can be held. Wanting to grasp the ungraspable, you exhaust yourself in vain. Wanting to grasp the ungraspable, trying to find peace as an outer object and trying to hold onto it, like chasing the rainbow, throw you again and again after a disillusion into a new illusion, a new hope, a new desire, into more disillusion, endlessly. For what? For nothing. Nothing. Just following a mental construction, leading to suffering, leading to more desire, leading to more suffering. We don't need to do this. Self-inflicted suffering is not necessary. As soon as you relax this grasping, space is here. Then you can explore space, and then you find that it's open, inviting, and joyful. Space is not just a cold vacuum. Space is also the matrix through which all manifestation can arise. The playground of all phenomena would be another name for it, the Dhammadhatu. The playground of all phenomena, the dynamic space, that's the quality of space, the dynamic space that allows all manifestation to arise through causes and conditions. Make use of it. It's not about nullifying. It's about recognizing the true nature of mind to be spacious and dynamic, and make a good use of it. You can let the mind follow the habitual tendency and create, in this dynamic space, more suffering and more complication. Or you can decide that enough is enough. And you can use this to create a dynamic of virtue, of joy, of lightness, through path of aspiration, wishes, cultivating, gathering the provision of wisdom and merit. This is possible. Make good use of it. Once that you've recognized this nature of the mind being open, inviting, and joyful, make good use of it. Enjoy it. All is yours already. Nothing has to be added to that. It's all in there. It's all perfect. You just need to cultivate the vision of it, become acquainted, familiar, feel at home in this space, inviting and joyful. And this is only possible when you are abiding in relaxation and letting go. Make a good use of it. All is yours already. Do not search any further. And here Rinpoche use a classic metaphor. Do not enter the impenetrable jungle to search for the elephant that is already quietly at home. Don't go out there looking for the elephant. The elephant is the stable mind, the quiet and happy mind. You know, when you study the 9 stages of shamatha, it is often depicted as a monk or meditator that's running after an elephant who is running wild, with a monkey who is running wild. And then finally, a meditator is riding the elephant who has been transformed in a process through the 9 stages of shamatha. If you want to know what the 9 stages of shamatha are, you can read in Rinpoche's book, Boundless Wisdom, a great description about it. So the mind, the elephantine mind, like an elephant, is steady and strong and stable, it's unshaken. If you want to find this elephant, look at your mind, don't look in the jungle. Jungle is the profusion of thoughts and concepts and ideas, very thick jungle, no path through this. Don't go there. That's not where the elephant is. Elephant is mind. Nothing to do, nothing to force, nothing to wish for, and everything happens by itself. This is the concluding line of this poem. And please don't fall into a nihilist mind when you read this. Nothing to do, nothing to force, nothing to wish for refers to the dualistic mind that thinks in terms of external object that needs to be done, willfully, forcefully achieved, or wished for. I wish to gain this, I wish to obtain this. This dualistic pattern is creating suffering. It comes from ignorance of reality and produce a lot of illusion that we become the prey of. Don't go there. And if you don't go there and just abide in relaxation and letting go, then everything happens by itself. The unfolding of the experience leading to the realization will happen naturally. Because, as Rinpoche said, all is yours already. There is nothing you don't have. This very mind, if you know it, is the Buddha. So, my dear friends, I invite you now to a little moment of relaxation and letting go. And for that, I'm going to use another poem of Gendun Rinpoche. I will first recite it in Tibetan, and then followed by the English translation. And then you can follow step by step the guidance and let your mind relax, let go, abide in itself, and enjoy its nature of openness, inviting and joyful. Enjoy this moment of meditation, will you? Ranjisemde Ramaldu Machupe Ngando Sho Deying on ne nam tak jua de tong. Dei tang do rama lu sho. Deying on do ne yong. Nepala Shemba Mepa. Yua Dopa Mepa. Ne yu Nila Chemepa. Semle Sem Jongwa Yimbar Shepa. Deying on do Shemba Mepa, Zimba Mepa, Rangshin, Rangma Lusho. Allow your mind to settle in a state that is relaxed and free of constraint. In this state, look at the movement of thoughts and rest in this relaxed. Through this, stability will come. Free of attachment to stillness and without fear of moving thoughts. Be aware that there is no difference between stillness and movement. Mind arises from mind. Remain in this state, just as it is. Relaxed. Without grasping, without clinging. Welcome back. After these very deep instructions of Gendun Rinpoche, I wanted to share with you some instructions from the second Shamapa, Kachö Wangpo. Kachö Wangpo was living in some difficult times, and he had to move from one place to another. And while he was staying in central Tibet, in a place called Nenong in the Tsoko Valley, in a retreat place. The resident of the monastery, some of them didn't like him so much, and they sort of like created a tension around him with a lot of gossips and so on. And so he realized that he couldn't do what he wanted to do as a Dharma teacher if there's no respect and there's no confidence. And then actually he's somehow, without him willing to do so, becoming the source of a lot of conflicts and maybe schism in this local Sangha. So he decided to go away and move to a remote mountain area. But he left with a gift, a farewell gift. He left the monastery with a song, which I found was very interesting, because the title of the song is the Eightfold Bodhi Path. And Eightfold Bodhi Path, in the mind of Shamar Kachö Wangpo, is a way to bring light on a very important teaching of the Buddha, or actually where all the teachings of the Buddha are contained, which is the Eightfold Noble Path. So I'm going to recite to you in Tibetan and in English this text. So while I'm reciting in Tibetan, for those of you who speak Tibetan, please apology for my poor Tibetan and probably my strong French accent. And for those of you who don't understand Tibetan, just as we did before, just picture yourself in a very open space, wherever you like it to see it, like in a clearing in the middle of a large forest, or by the sea, by the ocean, or way up on top of a mountain. And think about an open, endless, clear blue sky. And in this sky is Shamar Kachö Wangpo. And if you don't know how it looks like, then you can look at the pictures that we'll show as I recite this. But also you can just picture Shamar Rinpoche as you knew him, and think that he is singing through my voice to you and giving the blessing of this text to you. Let the blessing pervade your mind. Let your mind rest, relax, and open, and confident. And then I'll come back to you, and then we'll go through the text after a little moment of meditation. So enjoy this moment.
Namo Tarambe Ngeri Tunbe Me Palye She Me Tom Pombe Mingne Me Chunjal La Me Nongwe Me Mi Pampa La Yi Tape Mingne Drima Me Da Ki Loya Me Kala Che Pama Jepe Mingni Tsen Dimpa Den Me Mimon Den Pe Trampo Che Chanchu Lam Je Lu De Nyen Par Dzu Toge Chongden Sam Shi Kang Je Shi Me Lu Ye Dak Chu Pe Chi Xin Je Zenor Drupe Tsorwan Chabdu Jur Shemba Ronglo Dine Chong Chulam Jaton Cheu Kando Chinyon Chi Sunbe Sayur Zongne Chi Shinje Yundu Sachi Don Lo Ringdu Pong Yula Nge Medine Chong Chulam Rong no anda na su yang tun pe zhou. Dong ar na ta cherne shi chi je. Nian zhar kor we shal ta pe ji chu. Drame she me dine chan chu lam. Chu tang tu na tu ma la yin zhu. Let nie cin zhang man po qi qing je. Ce di ye jia xia dong xie len ji bor. Yar me ranga dine chan chu lam. Rong sen rong o xie song je rong. Ta ni de san man pe qi xing je. Shong se to be ri mo yal tu chu. Cher tong rang zhur tini chan chu lam. Chal no mi lam sam de kang je rong. Rang je rang ni ting ne chi xing je. Te me char we ngan do le ji xo. Ma chu luk pe di ni chong chu lam. Tap tong de na do chang du tsi cho. Kar dun pong ju ra man pe chi xin je. Ne ki dan pa nyen mong zho su cher. So tik zap ne di ni chang chu lam. E ma nor bu rin chen rong la yu. Den me korwa korne chi xin je. Lun zhu de chen ngan du se ji sho. Ge de be me zhub chi chong chu lam. Chang chu lam je chen zhu cher we lu. Ngun ra chen pa chu we kor we cik. To rang tun sam seng we rong mo long. Dun xin chu dam chi ra zhong po nam. Chang chu lam yang da ge nir ngung o gar den zhong po nam. Chang chu lang la min zhor we chun pe zu jie chi shik je. Chang chu lang la zho de na jik ten ja wa cham do jur. Kor be ne la chi cha tsur pa len la me je xin zhang. Se chi me ja zha chi xie tong. Ten chi dun ma le ne wong. Na jor de chu sam boy. Chang chu lam lo den ke lo.
Are you inspired? In this poem, Shamar Rinpoche presents himself. And first he pays homage to the unsurpassable, the Buddha, the true nature, the Dhammakaya, the very nature of our ordinary mind, if we take Mahamudra terminology, Nama Uttarabhiya. And so he's declining all the name he received along his spiritual journey. So the name that accords with my domain is glorious wisdom. The name from when I tossed the flower, that means the first empowerment he received. During the empowerment, you toss a flower, sometimes a toothpick. You toss this and it falls on a specific direction of the mandala that thereby indicates the family, the Buddha family you belong to. So the name he received during his first empowerment is Immovable Victorious One. The name his guru gave him is Unconquerable One. The name with which the devas adorn him is Stainless One. And then the name sung by the Dakinis is Sky Traveler, Kachö Wangpo, the powerful sky traveler, who accomplished the Buddha's activity. The name which gladdens the Arya, the Bodhisattva, is Tsendipa. And with the sense of humor and humility, he said, I'm a beggar who possesses many meaningless names. So these names are great. People say so beautiful things about me, but take it with a grain of salt. So listen to this song of the Bodhi path. The first limb of this Eightfold Bodhi path song. Just the pure necessity of food and clothing are sufficient. What is the use of acting like a preta, a hungry ghost, in a human body? Cast behind your efforts at acquiring food and wealth. Natural revulsion is the Bodhi path. This refers to the right view among the Eightfold Noble Path. The right view is when you understand that actions have consequences, when you understand impermanence, when you understand all of these fundamental values, you realize that it is unnecessary to search for name and fame and more food than necessary and more clothing than necessary. In modern terms, we would say to fall into hyper-consumption or hyper-consumerism. Just, simplify your life. Don't be like a hungry ghost, always looking for more and never being satisfied. Cast behind you, that means toss away all these unnecessary efforts. Natural revulsion, that means understanding that all of this is only causing more suffering and exhaustion, and it's not bringing any good, any result. So that's the first one, right view. The second part of this Eightfold Bodhi path is connected with the second section of the Eightfold Noble Path, which is right intention. The renunciant is happy wherever he/she goes. What is the use of clinging to property disputes? Leave far behind the inclination to stay in one place for a long time. Unknown country is the Bodhi path. Giving up is the natural consequence of the first point, which is right view, when you understand that everything related with the 8 worldly reactions is just leading to more suffering and confusion. You have a sort of a natural revulsion. You don't want to eat poisonous food. You just give it up. So you give up. And give up is the right intention. Give up means simplify. Make it easier. Make it lighter. Light enough to travel. Where? Unknown. Unknown country. We have no idea where karma is pushing us. We're always making plan, travel plan. We're on the road these days. We may have travel plan. We've done that before. Now we pretty much follow the events of the day. We have a certain direction. That's enlightenment. But the way, that's the course. We set the course. But how are we going to sail? The way to this is unknown. So we have to be ready to cross unknown territory, uncharted water. So that's the second aspect, the second branch of this Eightfold Bodhi path. The third one, linked to the third of the Eightfold Noble Path, is right speech. If you have sacred outlook, everyone is an agreeable companion. What is the use of being tethered by suffering? Cut off completely the ties of relatives, samsara. Without enemies or friend is the Bodhi path. if you have sacred outlook. Sacred outlook here in this context can be understood as a tantric perception of reality where all phenomena, being the play of mind, are by essence pure, and pure and impure are only mental constructions that do not apply to the reality. But you can see it from a Mahayana perspective, where you understand that you're surrounded by friends. I define them as tender friends and rough friends. The tender friends teach us about love, give us love. And the rough friends, they give us the situations, the opportunity to apply what we've learned from tender friends. So in both cases, we learn. We learn how to love with tender friends, and we put to the test our understanding so that it becomes a realization with the rough friends. Our realization is forged in the fire of trials. So if we have only friends, everyone is an agreeable companion. We can be with anybody. That's okay. We don't have to select. Therefore, we don't have to select friends versus enemies. Shantideva in the Bodhicharya Avatara speaks at length of how unreliable our friends and enemies. They are just concepts. They change according to the situation, the mood of our own mind. So there's no friend or enemies in the absolute sense, only what we make of the situation. So, without enemies, a friend, seeing everybody as a friend, if you will, a rough friend or a tender friend, that's the Bodhi path. And that's right speech, because we don't have to gossip, we don't have to slander, we don't have to say this is a good one, this is a bad one, because this is only expressing our feelings about it that are highly biased and tainted by our own emotions and our habitual tendencies. So, without friends and enemies in this sense, that is truly the Bodhi path. The fourth one in the Eightfold Noble Path is right conduct. Here, if you are in accord with the Dharma, the Devas accomplish your goal. What is the use of continually counting your virtues and faults? Cast away completely all activities of this life. Naturally free from occupation is the Bodhi path. If you are in accord with the Dharma, that is, if your life, your thoughts, your words, your action are totally supported and inspired by the Eightfold Noble Path, you can't go wrong. You don't have to worry. You don't have to have a plan B. Just fully invest in the Eightfold Noble Path. Devas will accomplish your wishes, your aspirations, your goal. In the Indian tradition, Devas, what we might call gods, are here to help human beings in their efforts towards perfection. And so if you are making these efforts, all the Devas that are supporting the Buddha's teaching will be rejoice, and then will support you and create all the good conditions. Devas, in a symbolic way, can be seen as the virtues, whereas demons can be seen or understood as neurotic, irrepressible habits and compulsive emotions. So here Devas are the 10 virtuous actions of the body, the speech, and the mind. This will really create the merit, the karma, that will allow you to see your goal fulfilled. So this Deva of the good deed will fulfill your goals. cast away completely all activities of this life. The activities of this life where we're constantly trying to make sure we have enough. Am I good enough? Or how terrible am I? Or this is really bad, I should get rid of it. There's sort of obsession of getting rid of something, but in a way that is not truly in accord with the Dharma. It's like we're trying to cut a deal. If I do a little bit of this, can I have a sort of an A+? Or if I please you in this way, can I avoid the consequences of my action? We try to cut a deal. And here Shamar Kachö Wangpo is telling us, you don't have to do that. You don't have to spend your life sort of worrying whether you're a bad person or a good person. Just follow the Dharma, the Eightfold Noble Path, in terms here more precisely of right conduct, the 10 white deeds of body, speech, and mind. And don't worry, that's going to be okay. Don't superimpose on that your anxiety about you being bad and you desire you to be good. Just relax that. Just do what you have to do. Do it to the best of your capacity. That's good enough. Naturally free from occupation is the Bodhi path. Jadal, free from occupation. Occupation is also a projection. I have to do this. I have to go there. I have to be better. I have to avoid this. But as we are dealing with all of these preoccupation and worries and so on, we are not following the right conduct. We are not following the white deeds, the positive deeds. And therefore, we're not creating the dynamic that leads to a place where our goals are spontaneously accomplished. So just cast this away. Don't worry about that. If you are in accord with the Eightfold Noble Path, the devas, the good deeds, the positive actions, will accomplish your goal. Just be confident in that and do it. The next one is in the Eightfold Noble Path list, right livelihood. If you recognize your mind, you are the Buddha. What is the use of continually learning and contemplating sophistries? Right livelihood. Learning and contemplating sophistries. If you recognize your mind, you're the Buddha. You don't need many words for that. Kachö Wangpo here, Shamar Kachö Wangpo here, is not talking about the basic, the good understanding of Buddha Dhamma that we need to have. It's not talking about this. This, of course, we need to have. We need to understand the basic, the fundamentals of Dhamma. He's talking about turning this into a job. For the sake of your reputation, you become a logician, you become a thinker, you become somebody who is using the Dhamma to serve his own, her own interest. Splitting hair, trying to prove you're right. Write books about how great is your understanding of this and that. This is not bringing your mind close to the realization of its own true nature. And actually it creates, again, a layer of complication and agitation. We think we are great because we know. The addiction to knowledge in the sense of one more book, one more word that we add on a pile of words, a pile of books that are rotting and infecting the natural freedom of our mind. We don't need this. Know the basics very well inside out. Once you know it, put it into practice. Put it into practice, put it into practice, put it into practice until you know your own mind. Once you know your mind, you are Buddha. Because this mind of yours is Buddha. Let your mental doodles of textual learning fade. Direct vision of self-liberation is the Bodhi path. Bodhi path is not endless discussions, debate and refutation, endless hair splitting. It is the direct vision of self-liberation, direct vision of the true nature of mind, where mind frees itself in itself by knowing itself. It liberates itself from the old dualistic habit. This doesn't come through books. The next one is, in relation to the Eightfold Noble Path, right effort. Whatever you do is merely a temporary dream. What is the use of continually binding yourself? Rest loosely in the simplicity of non-reference point. Being natural and loose is the Bodhi path. Right effort is based on the understanding, the right understanding, that all phenomena are just like a dream experience. They come and disappear through causes and conditions, so they're temporary. So why should we constantly bind ourselves to these phenomena by attachment and grasping or rejecting? Why would you need to do that? Just relax it. Rest loosely. Loosely means without too much effort. Well, that concentration becomes an effort, attention, a will that sort of like distract and covers the natural clarity of mind. Rest loosely in the simplicity. Simplicity is one of the stages of Mahamudra. Trudra in Tibetan. Simplicity means you stop buying the dualist opposition of subject-object. You see it, that it arises and appears, but not my monkey, not my circus. You don't even have to fight it or push it away. You just see it arising and falling. So like, you know what? It's just a temporary dream. I don't have to do anything about it. Just let it be. Just notice it. So you rest loosely in the simplicity of non-duality. By the way, that's the practice of Vipassana. Non-reference point. That you're not aiming at something. It's like if you're gazing at the sky. As Tilopa said, if you look at the sky for a long time, the looking will cease. The habit of looking for an object will stop as you look at the essence of emptiness of mind. In a very relaxed and loosely, that means without constraint, observation. So being natural and loose is the Bodhi path. Being natural and loose, not careless, carefree. Is the Bodhi path. That's the right effort. Interesting. The right effort is being natural and loose. Work on that. Not. The next one, the Eightfold Noble Path, is right mindfulness. If you have upaya, skillful means, even poison is supreme amrita. What is the use of continually contradicting and agreeing, giving up and transmuting? If you have upaya, if you have the skillful means, if you have the pith instructions that help you to understand the true nature of your mind, the true nature of reality, there is no poison that is klesha, because you understand that they're just a movement of mind. You see the essence of it. It's a liberation of klesha by seeing the essence of it, its essence of emptiness. So then the poison is not a poison anymore, it's an amrita. Amrita means free from death. Mriti is death. Amrita, the nectar of immortality, if you will, that the gods are so attached to. Metaphorically speaking, it's the nectar of your immortality. But here is the realization that overcomes the mara of death, that comes from the clinging to existence. Existence implies birth, therefore implies death. Klesha is death. Klesha is poison. Klesha comes from attachment to duality. Klesha comes from ignorance. If you have upaya, skillful means, you use all the situation, you realize the nature, the enlightened nature of even the klesha, and then they become nectar. So what is the use of continually contradicting and agreeing, giving up and transmuting? Here, Shamar Kachö Wangpo is pointing out the ultimate reality of all phenomena, including the veils and the kleshas. If we link this to the four dharmas of Gampopa, this is may confusion dawn as wisdom. The pith instructions, the key instruction, pointing out the true nature of reality when we are sort of like coming close to it. The Guru is pointing out the true nature of reality. They bring the klesha along as our friends. So far from having to give up and transmute, contradict and agree, which is very much in the realm of duality, we can poke through this, see the true nature of reality directly, and therefore the true nature of kleshas. So kleshas are not problems, they're not enemies, they become your friends. The klesha become actually immortality, amrita. The life drop, the quintessential vital energy of the profound instructions is the Bodhi path. That's a very important point. The pointing out instruction, the key instruction about the nature of reality. Whether you come to this realization through the practice of mind training, cultivating relative and absolute bodhicitta together, or through the practice of skillful methods using mantra and visualization and so on and so forth, you come to this realization that seeing everything in its essence liberates everything. That is, move beyond the duality that creates death and kleshas. So this is the Bodhi path, the profound pith instruction. And in terms of the Eightfold Noble Path, this is a right mindfulness. This is truly the result of Vipassana. Not the common Vipassana, and to understand what is common Vipassana, please read Shamar Rinpoche's Boundless Wisdom, but the Vipassana that is supported by the view Mahamudra, the uncommon or extraordinary Vipassana. And then finally, the eighth section of the Eightfold Noble Path, which is right Samadhi. Emma, how wonderful. You have the precious jewel. Your life, the path instruction, and your mind. You have the precious jewel. What is the use of spinning in futile samsara? Rest precisely in spontaneous great bliss. Effortlessly attaining your needs and desires is the Bodhi path. So, a result of right mindfulness and Vipassana, a genuine experience that will progressively become a true realization through the Samadhi, through the meditative absorption, through the fruit of cultivated Vipassana. The result of cultivated Vipassana is the fruit, which is natural Vipassana, which is the moment where you begin to see the true nature of mind, and you let this realization grow, and what obstructed evaporates somehow. You experience great bliss. And great bliss is the result of a mind that is free from the complication of duality. Simplicity liberates from duality. The one taste, that is the experience of this simplicity, brings this great bliss, this great freedom. And then you just abide there. As Lung Chenpa said, basking long hours in non-doing. You just abide there. And effortlessly, because it is already here, it's your mind. All your needs and desire, that is reaching enlightenment for the benefit of all beings, will be accomplished. As Shamar Rinpoche said, and you will find yourself falling into enlightenment. This is the Bodhi path. And then Shamar Rinpoche, Kachö Wangpo, concludes this with an explanation of why he wrote this. The song combines the Eightfold Noble Path of Bodhi into one. And as he was remembering the previous lineage holders with sad longing, because they're not here with him anymore, and he aspired to be with them, I sang, he says, these words of encouragement as music to refresh my dawn practice break. So that was for myself. I just sang this to cheer myself up. Let us practice according to the truth, O friends of the future, but he's talking to you now. Even I myself have obtained the Bodhi path. Again, this sort of a traditional self-deprecating way of saying like, I'm just like you guys. Even myself, I had to do this. And I've obtained it. It's possible. It's possible because myself, my humble self, I've obtained the Bodhi path. So you definitely can do it. So come along, my fortunate friends. And now, an admonition. If you do not tread on the Bodhi path, as he described it, what is the use of pretending to be a Dharma practitioner? Don't be a fraud. If you wish to tread on the Bodhi path, cast your worldly activities behind, bid farewell to samsara, follow in the footsteps of the glorious Guru. Prepare provision for the next life, merit, wisdom, and therefore your permanent goal will be excellent. Permanent goal of enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. So, this was my 2 cents, what of my poor understanding I have produced about the Eightfold Bodhi path of the precious Shamar Kachö Wangpo. I will leave you for now. And as a farewell gift, I will leave you with a rendition, a modern rendition of this poem, inspired by this text, sent for Garner, a good friend, has put this into music and sort of condensed the text. And so he's going to sing this for us with the beautiful voice of our friend Tatiana Santini. And I leave you with this. Enjoy the melody, and maybe if you can, learn the song and sing it for yourself and your friends of the future. Be well, friends. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. À bientôt.
Namo Taribaya, the name that I called with his domain, his glorious wisdom, the name from when he tossed the flower, his immovable, victorious one, the name given to him by his guru, his unconquerable one, the name with which the devas adorn him, his stainless one, the name sung by the Dakinis, the sky traveler, the name which gladdens the ayahs, his Gandipa. He is a beggar which possesses many meaningless names. Listen to this song of the Bodhi path. Natural revulsion is the Bodhi path. Uncertain journey is the Bodhi path. Without enemies or friends is the Bodhi path. Naturally free from occupation, here's the Bodhi path. Direct visions of self-liberation, here's the Bodhi path. Being natural and loose is the Bodhi path. The life drop of the prophet pith is the Bodhi path. Effortlessly attaining your needs and desires is the Bodhi path. Let us practice according to the truth. Even Rinpoche attained the Bodhi path. So come along, his fortunate friends, following the footsteps of the glorious Gurus. Listen to this song of the Bodhi path. Just the pure necessities of food and clothing are sufficient. The renunciation is happy wherever he goes. If you have said gratitude, everyone is an agreeable companion. If you are in accord with with the Dharma, they first accomplish your goal. If you recognize your mind, you are the Buddha. Whatever you do is merely a dream. If you have skillful means, even Kachö are your friends. In mind, you have the precious jewel. Truth, even Rinpoche attained the Bodhi path. So come along, his fortunate friends, following the footsteps of the glorious Guru. Following the footsteps of the glorious Guru. Following the footsteps of the glorious